You only
Yo, 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 it's your boy Prince Elias, and I have special guests with me today. I have Keisha and T Keys from Keys Constrictors, as well as the homie Cairo from Captured by Cairo. And we have another special Marvel Part 2 episode of Snake Cinema Podcast. And before we get started, let's see. Oh, we got ENT Reptiles in the building. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, we got Cairo in the chats. Of course, we got Cairo's mom, Candy. What up, Candy Kane? Good morning.
Oh, I had no idea.
Hi, mommy.
Yeah. GCG, welcome. Casey, welcome, welcome.
Casey, what
Also,
up?
this podcast and every podcast on this channel is brought to you by Mutation Station, the best theaters in Memphis and surrounding areas. If you want ASFs, if you want Norwegians, if you want dubia roaches, any type of, I think they got some now fancier roaches and they're hissing cockroaches for your lizards and stuff. Hit up Mutation Station / Lucy Land on Instagram, here in Memphis, Mississippi, Nashville, wherever they could probably ship or drive halfway and meet you there. So, oh, Dundee, Father Dunn, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Father Don.
Thank you for tuning in. Yes, yes, yes. So, we are going to be having a fun episode. First topic will be a little fun debate on WandaVision. Cairo feels very strongly about not liking it, and I feel strongly about loving it. So we're good. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure Keys is probably somewhere in the middle. Who knows? They probably like it. We'll figure it out.
I'm in the middle.
But we're going. Oh, you're in the middle. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to defend WandaVision against the blasphemy that Cairo has spit a couple of episodes ago. Let's see who else in the chat. All right,
Keisha's
yes.
definitely for it. She's pro WandaVision.
I yeah. I think they kicked it off really well.
well to make it even, it's gonna be me and Keisha versus T and Cairo. This T is in the middle of the
Like
road.
a doubles match.
Yeah. And then later on this episode, we will also be discussing Disney and Tiana and pretty much their disrespects for representation when it comes to Black girls, Black children, Black princesses. And so we are going to discuss that later on in the episode and how we feel about it. And I told Cairo they could rip Disney to shreds. I know I'm a little biased because I used to work for the company, but I cannot defend them on this topic because even I felt disrespected when I saw the latest events go down when it comes to our girl Tiana. So Disney, you about to get it. All right. So before we begin, let me do a little brief intro. We are discussing a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we had a Marvel panel where, of course, Keys was also one of the hosts as well as Wiz. Um, and we discussed our love and appreciation and our fandom. We just went crazy over Marvel, but we also talked about some disappointments with Marvel over the years. And everybody made some excellent points. But now we're here for part two, where we're strictly just discussing WandaVision because WandaVision, as Keisha said earlier, did kick things off. And since this podcast is a reptile podcast and a movie review podcast, I decided to bring on a little guest to the podcast as well. Can't call it Snake Cinema Reviews if we don't have a snake involved. So I brought out my guy Loki.
Perfect.
He is
Nice,
a
nice.
he is a banana head hypo head paint. Oh, he also has yellow belly in it, yellow
You
belly
know what?
everything.
I'm about to break mine now.
Oh yeah, we have a Wanda.
Okay, okay, yeah. So we have two snakes on the podcast. We have Loki and Key's about to get Wanda. And so Now I can really say this is Snake Cinema Podcast because we
Mhm.
have snakes. All right. Let's see who else in the chat. Who else in the chat? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody who's tuned in. Welcome. What up, Stan? I didn't see you drop in. Stan the man. What up? Good morning, Kai. Kai does things.
My girl Wanda, she's
What
gonna be
up?
watching, participate in the show too.
Oh yeah.
She's
OG girl.
pro.
What's
She's
up,
pro
Wanda?
WandaVision.
She's definitely pro WandaVision. That's who she
What's
was
up,
named after.
Wanda?
I need a snake. Yeah, I do need a snake, Mom. Y'all don't got one. Man. All I got is Tank. Tank is just as good though.
Orlando Terrell.
He's my
Y'all was
beard.
first. Kiki don't count.
Oh God.
Yeah. Hey, lizards can be a part of Snake Cinema Podcast too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
He's
count.
asleep. He's about to go into brumation, so I ain't trying to bother him.
All
Okay,
reptiles
yeah.
matter.
She was goes. Happy to
Now
be
let him
on.
sleep. Let him rest. We don't want him mad. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's begin. One Division came out around 20 2021. Oh wow, time flies. It came out 2021, January 15th on Disney Plus, and it came right after Endgame. So after the
Yeah.
big grand finale, we said goodbye to Tony Stark and Black Widow and a lot of others. Spoiler alert: if you have not seen none of those movies, I'm sorry. You had plenty of time to catch up. But we said goodbye to a lot of the OGs, and pretty much it began the new wave of the secondary characters. What up, Ro? Who who were introduced but did not get too much of a shine, in my opinion. And Wanda was definitely one of them. Now, of course, it was like a 30 to 50 minute episodes, and it starred. I'm sorry, trying to get all my notes together. It starred Elizabeth Olsen, um, Tiana Paris, Evan Peters, Deborah Joe, Paul Bettany, and Catherine Hahn, along with others. And I will say, whether you love the show or hate the show, for me personally, all the actors did a great job for the material they were given. I felt the emotions of Wanda. I felt the humor of certain characters. I felt it just came off. You could tell them as the characters instead of just an actor playing a character. Um, and again, for me personally, what's up, Bosa, aka El Papa? Welcome.
Hey, hey,
For me, for me personally, this was the introduction to the new phase, the new wave of Marvel content that we now have, and it also gave us a reason because I feel like had Marvel did not give us WandaVision and just dropped what's that Doctor Strange
Madness of the
Multitude of Madness
multiverse.
Mayhem,
Madness of
yeah,
the
Madness
multiverse.
of the Multiverse,
it would
it
have
would be a
worked.
lot of yeah, it would have been a lot of complaints saying, why was she doing this? Why is she doing that? Why Wanda go crazy? And this one gave us the reason why. And I feel personally, that was a great introduction to get us ready for it. As disappointing as I was in the film itself, at least gave me the character motivation of why she did what she did. Now I will shut up and let Cairo give the counter arguments of WandaVision.
All right, so watching WandaVision, I grew up watching Marvel. I think my first Marvel movie was Captain America. I think that was it, Captain America. So I've watched most of the Marvel series. I haven't gotten to all of them yet. I refuse. I didn't watch the Hawkeye one. It just didn't seem interesting. But I'll get to it at some point. With WandaVision, it was just very. It was very generic. For example, like the villain. Hold on. Agatha. She had a very like generic like, oh, I'm the villain. I'm here to steal your power so I can get more powerful. Okay, that's all you got. Like, at least Thanos had a purpose and a reason. She was just there to, like, what was the point? She was one of the worst bad guys in the Marvel series. It was all over the place. Yeah, it was. It wasn't.
Yeah, but I just say something about that. Like, how did she get her own spinoff? That
Agreed. Agreed. As funny as
Yeah.
It's Agatha All Along was to me, I loved it. It's Agatha All Along because that's like a throwback, a callback to, how TV shows did it back before I was even born and the stuff I saw growing up in reruns. So I related to that reveal. That was funny. But when they said that she was going to get a spinoff off of a meme, if you're going to give a spinoff off of a meme, I'd rather have a spinoff of Vashon. When they had Vision and they were putting the one earring on them and they were putting the turtleneck on them and the gold chain. And he said, what is swag if not something reason? I can't remember all the memes, but they were hilarious. And as funny as it was Agatha All Along, that did not, in my opinion, deserve a spinoff. But Marvel has surprised me in the past. Hint, hint. WandaVision. So I'll give it to them until they give me reason not to.
Yes,
I told you guys I'm wordy. I'm so sorry.
What is drip if
Yes.
not swag preserving? That's what it was. I had to look it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a dope line. So cool. And the memes that they ran with were hilarious. I loved it. So
Yeah, it was
am I gonna defend WandaVision a little bit now?
Yeah, you can defend a little bit. Yeah.
All right. So there were a few things that I loved about WandaVision. Elias already touched on a few. I love the fact that it was a different episode every time, and it was starting off with the black and white to the different type of sitcoms to like the Family Matters or the Full House type TV shows through all the decades, and I thought that was great because a lot of us can relate to those different types of shows, and the fact that we got a different show, well thought out episode each time, and it was true to each time period, true to each type of show they were doing. I thought that was really well done and not easy to do. To bring it all together and keep it all together the way they did. I love the slow reveals of it. Like you had to watch it and go along on this journey of discovering and figuring out what the heck was going on with the characters. I thought the mystery of it was cool. Dang. As Elias said, setting us up for the film, the disappointment of Multiverse of Madness would not have made sense otherwise. Without it, was a great kickoff to just the television shows, the Disney Plus television shows. What else, baby? I don't know. That's it for now.
Okay.
And I like
also feel
Cairo. I like
I also-
getting your opinion because I'm a little older. I just turned 41 a couple of weeks ago. So, our opinions might differ a little bit because of the age gap, especially with this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Another thing.
yeah, and I also
Another thing that got me was how they.
no.
When they tried to like do like the Quicksilver thing, it was just like, why didn't you just do the Quicksilver that was she had originally? Like Evan Peters was not the Quicksilver in the original MCU. He was Quicksilver for X-Men, but he wasn't in the Marvel movies. Like when Age of Ultron came out, it was that other guy. Cool guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name for the life of me.
Kick ass. People kick ass.
I like the explanation that they had of the multiverses. That was one of our first little glimpses.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was a thing by Agatha, and he wasn't even real, and it wasn't even Quicksilver. It was just like, oh yeah, I'm just a dude who looked like him.
Well, yeah, that was a little anticlimactic. you know, show wasn't perfect. Show wasn't perfect.
It was like that would have been like that would have been something like if they did it correctly, it would have been good. But then that like, oh yeah, I'm just a dude who happens to look like your dead brother in another universe. It was just like, okay.
Yeah. Can we talk
like
about Monica Rambeau at all?
I knew you wanted to talk about
She was the black lady,
yes,
right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was when the new Marvel one come out.
I can't
I like
wait for
Monica.
that one. Yeah.
She needs.
Just
I
for
don't
her
know.
alone.
She should have got her spinoff series, not Agatha.
Right?
Isn't
True.
again the movie?
But yeah.
Well, the movie
But I think,
with Kamala Khan.
but yeah.
And,
But I
She
think that's
definitely is
why
deserving of it.
she needs her own spinoff. But I think they want to wait till after the Marvels before they do that. Just my prediction. I don't know anything, but I think that's just my prediction because WandaVision was an introduction for her, and then of course Miss Marvel has her own show. You know, for the the Indian character, and so I think after the Marvels movie, when they introduce all of them with Captain Marvel, I think and hope it becomes successful enough to where Disney will give Monica Rambeau her own spinoff. Because I know they not gonna give her her own movie. It ain't gonna happen, Captain. But I think spinoff is definitely what we need for her. Because she was the best thing, in my opinion. If I had any critiques of WandaVision, she was the best thing in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Like her character, her trying to figure out how to get in the town and figure out what's going on. I loved it.
And I was wondering how she was her powers too.
Exactly. It also showed us how she got her powers. And also I'm very biased because again, I'm very old. I'm very into TV, movies, the whole media. And so when they decided to go left and do this whole, she's reliving old TV sitcoms that she saw as a kid, it was a lot of nostalgia for me. Because I was like, I remember watching those shows at my grandma's house. We didn't have cable. We had Able. And so whatever your channel was able to get, that's what you watched. And to see Wanda play out those, episodes and those TV shows for the first, 3 or 4 before they finally showed us the outside world, what was really going on. I was hooked. I was hooked on every last one of them. I was like, I wonder what she's gonna do this episode. I wonder what they're gonna do that episode. And then once they pulled the veil and showed, oh, this is just a figment of her imagination, or she's just acting this out and got this whole town like under her spell. I was like, that is genius. That was amazing. I just really love the writing and how they did that. And it was something different because we all said, these superhero movies and shows are very formulaic and they're all the same. And I like that did something totally different, at least for the first 3 or 4 episodes before they went back to their usual Marvel beat for beat stuff.
Yeah. That's a good point that they gave you both. For the people who, enjoyed the beginning and the people who didn't, they weren't stuck with a different time the whole time. They still got their Marvel show. So I like that compromise with it. And I want to say that as a person who did not believe that WandaVision was going to be good, when I saw those first, I guess those ads with the old school box wooden TV and the fuzzing on the TV and everything, and I was like, nah, this is gonna be whack. So I went in with expectations in the dumpster, and I was so happily surprised with it. I will say that I did not care at all for the Wanda character in Marvel at all, even in the movie, even in Ultron, Age of Ultron. I didn't care about her or her brother as a villain or as characters, people, whatever. So when she got a show, I was like, why? That's why. That show actually made me care about her. It made me understand how a person could fall in love with a friggin' android or something like that. Like their dynamic actually, at first I was like, this lady married a sex robot. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so I had no respect for their relationship, none of that. the part in when the whole pulling of the thing out in Endgame or Civil War, the one that was heartstrings, but that's all I cared about with them too. But watching her and getting her background story of when she was a kid and going through their whole city collapsing around them and being that was good TV right there.
Yeah.
Then so I like how they did it.
Yeah, like the fact that because it also, it touches on mental health as well. Like the fact that she had to grieve her parents when they were young. She had to grieve her brother when he sacrificed himself and died. She had to grieve Vision. And so she decided her way of grieving and coping was to go inside her head, go into another realm, go into another world, just to have some remnants of peace, some remnants of happiness. And then, of course, the rest of us humans just had to come and mess that up and took that away from her, and then took away her imaginary kids. Yeah, I would become a villain too. I would be crazy in a nut job too after all that. Like, she never had a chance of peace. She always had to help the Avengers, fighting bad guys. It was just I'm always rude for Wanda. I'm sorry. even if the material that she was in wasn't good, it like Doctor Strange, I was still rooting for her. I was like, yeah, kill all of them. Kill all of them. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it
Well,
with you.
you know what? I didn't mind so much the when they went there and like the Fantastic, not saying Fantastic Four, but when she killed all of them, they were so freaking cocky anyway. Like, man, too damn cocky.
Yeah.
And they deserve that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Their egos and arrogance got them messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that's why I have such an emotional attachment to that show, and I love that character. And yeah, I really I'm around for Wanda regardless. Cairo, you got any more points or counterpoints?
Oh, it was
I
just
want to
boring.
make sure you're able to speak. I love
It
Cairo.
was
I
it
love
was just
Cairo.
like
Uh,
it was just like from all the other Marvel shows, WandaVision was the most like we we didn't need that or Multiverse of Madness. Cause like it really could like you really could have set up into Multiverse of Madness with Loki because the Loki series went more into all the different multiverses, all the different versions of this and that. WandaVision was just she went crazy. That's it.
They would explain why she went crazy though, and that way when she so you wasn't super surprised that she was the villain in the multiverse.
But
Yeah, but it's also like
I was gonna agree with you. Like, if we get rid of Multiverse of Madness, then we could get rid of Wanda. And I hated Multiverse of Madness. So I get your point. I definitely do.
it just seemed, her little thing just seemed a little bit like unnecessary. Like it was even in the comics, it was just I never could grasp like why.
Well, Wanda's OP, so
And that's the problem. Like we
Yeah.
have all of these overpowered characters. Like then what? If she's the strongest, like if she's supposedly the strongest, so why didn't she defeat Thanos when he was here?
she was busy going crazy. Say now.
and that was the same argument I had for Captain Marvel, even though they tried to explain, oh, she was too busy trying to
She was off
trying to
planet.
save the rest.
Movie was so
They was like-
boring. It was so drawn out. It was so long for no reason. And then she showed up for like 2 seconds in Endgame and then just disappeared again. And it was like
She's
Yeah,
busy. She's out there being Superman,
She is.
Superwoman. So she's
the worst. But
that was one of the worst Marvel movies I have ever like.
I'm with you, Orlando. Yes. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my god.
I feel you. You know what, Cairo? You're not the first person to ever say that. So I get it. I can understand why some people just don't have a connection to not just Wanda, but any of some of these Marvel characters. Because again, at the end of the day, no matter how good an actor is, no matter how great the cinematography is, if the writing is not there, if the story is not there, there's only so much these folks can do. There's only so much Elizabeth Olsen can do with
And
the character
she's an amazing
if the
actor.
writing is not there. Yeah.
Everything else I've watched Elizabeth Olsen, she's amazing. She
Yeah.
brings emotion to the table. But WandaVision just wasn't just wasn't it.
Yeah, I think she did a good acting job in it. I didn't like her. Like, man, I don't like her. I don't like her.
I like seeing someone who looked like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen just on the screen, and each episode getting a little more.
I never sympathized with the villain. I'm never like, oh man,
You didn't sympathize with
Nope, 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 nope. Sure
Okay.
didn't. Sure didn't.
All right.
Not
Nope.
even Killmonger.
Nope.
Not
Didn't
even
sympathize with.
Killmonger?
Nope.
Oh wow.
Killmonger.
I didn't empathize with
Nope.
him. I didn't agree.
Nope.
You know what? I agree with
He was wrong. He was
Yes,
fucking wrong.
I agree with his. I agree with his conclusion. No, I agree with his sentiments. I do not agree with his execution at all. But I feel what he felt. I felt like he felt like, where'd y'all get all these artifacts from? Like, I felt him.
But then I get that. But then you go to Wakanda, like, yo, come on, man.
Yeah, he was.
He had to do that shit.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, we go off on tangents a lot.
They would have fucking destroyed the whole world. I would get all and then take. Oh, come on, man.
Not cool.
Genocide. Come on,
cool,
bro. Come on, bro. Come on, for real. Can't get behind that. Fucking Hitler ass. Come on now.
Maybe it's the Jim Taurus in me. I like revenge.
Then I'd be going too far. It's like, well, now that'd be like
Going too far off a tangent.
yeah, it's like because I compare it to like Germans representing for Hitler. Like, oh shit, well, he don't like them. I don't like. I'm one with them. Come on, man, chill. He was fucking wrong. Even though we're all black, but still, that's wrong. That's wrong. I don't get it.
You got a point, Keys.
I would just watch Sharknado over that. Damn.
I don't know about Sharknado.
I didn't even watch. What's that?
They got, like,
Cocaine
eight
Bear.
shows.
I kind of want to watch it, but I'm like, damn.
Cocaine Bear was the craziest thing I've ever laid eyes on. Like, what?
Wiz said it was good. Wiz
A lot of people said it was good. It's like, man, can I watch it?
It was just like I can't put it into words.
It's something.
But in what's the other shit? Megan, like I don't know.
I want to watch that.
Oh,
She looked like Mary Kate, and she looked like WandaVision herself. She looked just like them three.
That's a good movie. I'm not gonna lie. That thing is
It was
funny.
good.
That's funny.
All right.
Megan,
Wiz said that.
Man, it would kick. I would kick like Chucky, man. I would kick the shit out of this fuck. Like, come on, man. I ain't getting beat up by no doll and Puppet Master. I was like, man, come on, man.
One day we're gonna have a Wiz Constrictors movie fest, and we're gonna put on our Wiz Constrictor shirts and watch 3 movies that he said was good. And
we just good takes. So I was like, man, I would kick a little dog if it chased me.
I'm not gonna lie. The Chucky series is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It is great. I love it. They have it.
Do you know how scared I was of my own dolls growing up because of Child's Play? Literally terrified of my own toys that I played with during the day, but at night, once the lights go out, you don't know what. Yeah, iconic series. Iconic.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. So, is that it on WandaVision? Who else wants some final thoughts? Me personally, I feel like she does deserve better, but at the show by itself, the WandaVision show by itself, I personally enjoyed because I enjoyed it because it was great. The acting was good. I felt for the character. It gave me reasons why she did what she did. Um, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. Yes, I will admit, Agatha isn't that good of a villain, but her theme song it slaps. So you win me
My
with a
my
theme
final
song.
thoughts
You won
on
me.
oh,
Go
my
ahead,
final thoughts
Keisha.
on my final thoughts on WandaVision is that outside of just it being a good show that I enjoyed, it kind of gave me a tougher skin on online because that was like the hate that show was getting when it was first out was so much, and I was one of the people who loved it, and I felt like I was in the minority. And I see people arguing back and forth, and I was watching it from the sidelines, and I actually learned a lot to just people are going to like what they like, and everything is not for everyone. It's something that I already know, obviously, but it cemented the fact just watching it play out online and seeing the conversations. That's why your differing opinions, Cairo, I can respect them and understand them and not get upset. I'm definitely not trying to change each other's mind. And that's one of the great things about Marvel to me is that there is a lot for everyone. And I'm I'm a fan. I'm a fan. That was it.
Yeah, it just wasn't my
Final
show.
thoughts, Cairo.
It just wasn't my show. Like I'm like I said, like I didn't like it. That doesn't mean nobody else has to. Like y'all enjoy what you want to enjoy. Me personally, just wasn't my thing. Just wasn't my thing.
I'm here to support my baby.
Moon
I'm like I
Knight,
was saying,
Moon Knight was
my
better.
expectations were low, so it was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't like Agatha as the villain. That was my main thing. Like, man, this
She's a comedian. She's a comedian.
yeah. And it came out one that was the
But yeah,
villain after all.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
really.
you're right. Moon Knight was definitely better. I enjoyed that the most, especially when it comes to a character mental illness going crazy. You don't know what's real, what's not real, mixed with the
I didn't even think
superhero
about
stuff.
that part.
I feel
But
like
Moon,
I feel
Moon
like
that
they
was
Knight
that was good
executed
tying that in
that.
as
I
like
feel like
a
they
mental health.
executed that better. I will agree
I
with
have
that.
watched Moon Knight
It,
so many times over again. Let me tell you something.
that's it. Moon Knight and Wanda, they both
Yep.
need a therapist. Yeah.
Loki was a good series. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that was good.
Yeah, Keisha
I
didn't like
can't wait
Falcon
for
Winter Soldier.
Loki.
I liked it.
It's
I can't wait for
50-50.
season
Some of
two.
the things they were pushing, like the villain dude.
Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
trying to
The
use that to set up for the Thunderbirds
I
They were
will
really
say,
pushing an agenda in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I
and
will say,
the set up the new Captain America movie when that comes out. But Falcon as
yeah,
Captain America.
yeah. I will say Marvel, as good as I think they are overall, they do have a villain problem. As far as the ratio goes, it's probably three great ones, and everybody else is bland or straight trash.
Yeah.
either either not good enough or just straight trash. But when they do hit, when they do get a good villain, it it
Oh
it,
yeah.
it works. It works. Like you can't argue with me on Loki in the beginning before he became, a good guy. You can't argue with me about Thanos. You can't argue with me about Killmonger, and I can argue with some people
Killmonger,
about I can argue some people about what's homeboy from Black Panther 2. I don't forgot that quick.
Namor? Namor?
Thank you. Yeah, Namor. Yeah, Namor. Because he was minding his own business. He was just living his life being king of the underworld, and we messed with him. We
Yeah.
we went on his turf, so I get why he went crazy
Yeah.
because we he wasn't bothering nobody. But yeah, I agree. I feel like Marvel needs to do better by these villains, especially Phase 4 and continue on. We need better, stronger villains. to give us a reason to root for the good guy. I don't want things to come easy for these good guys. I'm sorry. Like I like the fact the one thing I really love about Black Panther 2 and besides the whole grieving of T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman is the fact that Shuri got her ass beat. She got her ass handed to her. She had to
Yeah.
earn that suit. She had to earn that suit. And I like when heroes have to earn their shit instead of it just being given to them.
I really like the
All right.
introduction
Let's
of
see.
what was it, Ironheart?
So,
Oh yes, I've been
I
waiting.
I
I've
was
been
ooh,
waiting.
yes, yes,
I
yes,
was
yes.
not sold when her first couple of lines.
Yeah.
I am very aware of us coming off as a certain kind of way, but as they gave her more lines, as they gave her more parts, they gave her a few little things to say here and there, a few little things, important things to do. By the end of it, I
Yeah.
was rooting for my girl, so I was very very happy for her introduction.
I was like to be like, how this little girl got all
Yes.
this big ass factory, little warehouse joint, and all this equipment.
You gotta suspend disbelief because I feel like we suspend disbelief for different characters,
I do.
and
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna say.
She was
Yeah.
a G.
Let's suspend
Yeah.
this disbelief for everyone.
Facts. And I can't wait for her series to eventually come out because she is in the comics the new Iron Man, and
Yeah.
since Robert Downey has retired that suit, it's we need a new one for the
Mm-hmm.
movies and shows. What's up, Rock? What's up, Lady Tiz? Thank y'all for tuning in. All right, so let us move on to the next topic. And of course, Keys, if y'all have to dip out whenever, just let me know. But I know Keisha wants to also chime in on this um, topic as well for a little bit. And that is, let me get my banner. I finally figured out StreamYard, so I'm excited, y'all.
Let's do it.
Is Disney disrespectful to Black people? That is the
Bush
question for the
hates
day.
black people. That's what that felt like this time. I didn't know that was going to come across the screen.
Is
I thought it
Disney
works for Disney. You used to work for Disney too. So.
I used to work for them too. Yes, that's why I
Yeah.
said usually when people critique Disney, I am very biased or I'm very quiet. I like to play devil's advocate or I don't say anything at all. But this latest series of events have been very disrespectful. And we're going to go down that rabbit hole. But first, let me give y'all an introduction because some people probably don't know what the hell we're talking about. I want to tell y'all what sparked this conversation and why me and Cairo really wanted to talk about it. Basically, Disney, the company, has been apologizing to Black people ever since Songs of the South, um, and so they always try to throw us a bone and hope that we're grateful for it. Um, but with this latest incident, like Songs of the South, they had the theme park rides at both parks, Splash Mountain, that was based off the movie, with the Brer Rabbit and the Brer Fox and all that stuff. You go on a log and you fall down, get wet, woo, have fun. But the origins of that ride and the origins of the movie was very racist. With the whole Uncle Tom character and him being a slave to telling these fables or stories to his master's kids. Um, and so we've been critiquing Disney and giving them the side eye ever since that movie was released. And they finally decided to revamp that ride and give the ride to Tiana. And so, some people are like, yes, finally, it's about time. And some people are like, yay, now Black people can shut up about Disney and stop critiquing
Mm.
them and calling them racist. Um, and so for Disneyland, they're going to revamp the ride, but they also gave Tiana her own restaurant where you could go after you get off the ride, go to the restaurant, eat a meal, get a beignet because it's not real authentic. It's just a donut filled with lemon cream or whatever. But lately they've been promoting it heavy on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Hey, Tiana's Palace is coming. Tiana's Palace is coming. Whatever, the restaurant. And in their Promotion videos. They didn't feature Tiana. You know, usually they'll have somebody dressed as the character. They did not feature Tiana at all. And in the promo videos, not one black person was featured.
Mm.
Not a worker, not a cashier, not a chef. You can hire an actor to pretend like they work at Disneyland, just something. But it's like they don't give a damn about representation and what that means. Imagine a little girl on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram, and they see Tiana's Palace opening at Disneyland, and it's just all white faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, and it's just blatant disrespect, in my opinion. So that's what really sparked this conversation. That's the reason. Now I'm gonna shut up and let Cairo go ham and cuss my boss out with the quickness.
Let me cook. Let me cook. Hold on. I've been waiting for this one. Let me tell y'all something. When I saw that video, it zoomed in, and I was like, okay, we finally got Tiana's Palace. Like, we up in here. Where was the black people at? And why does Tiana look like somebody's auntie from the 80s? That's not that. Take the wig off. That is not how Tiana. Girl, they couldn't even put Tiana in the trailer for her restaurant. Her restaurant.
That's trash.
And then what got me was, how you gonna turn the so-called racist ride into the black ride? Make it make
I was like,
At least
okay,
they're
so
like,
like
damn,
a
like,
double,
damn,
like a double,
damn.
kill two birds with one
Like,
stone.
why? I
Like,
think
like
that-
what are you trying to say? Like, like you building all this other stuff, and you couldn't build a little new like, why does I love cars, but Princess and the Frog would be such a better area. Like, come on now, you could have the Shadow Man's little gift shop or whatever. You could buy all like the like all his stuff or whatever. Like, they play his music. Shadow Man walks around there, whatever. Tiana's Palace. You could have Mama Odie's little hangout thing. You could have so much stuff, and they won't do it. And then when they do something, they got Popeye. Nah, literally. She did that. Is not my Tiana. And like, I respect it. But I don't respect it. I don't respect it, because it just feels like they're giving us a penny, and we're acting like it's like $1 million. I need it. It's not good at all. I like good that we got it, but like at the same time, it's like I'd rather not have it with the circumstances that they're giving it to us in.
I feel that.
And before I let Keisha say something or speak on it, I also want to say that I've been vlogging. I started out, before I got into reptiles and the reptile community, I started off as a Disney vlogger. So when I was working at Disney, I was vlogging and making videos throughout the theme parks, the character meet and greet, stuff like that. That was what this channel was primarily of when I first started on YouTube. And so I know for a fact that there are a lot of black creators in the Disney space on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, a lot of vloggers who vlog almost every day in the theme parks, and like pretty much give Disney the freest promotion. I almost came and played devil's advocate for this whole Tiana situation in the promotion, because one is California. California is different from Orlando, so maybe there's not a lot of black cast members there. I don't
My
know.
daughter is a black cast member in Orlando.
Yeah, so I was gonna shoot them some bail because it was Cali. Maybe the demographic, maybe they didn't have enough workers. There was people of color to be at their place, but then all the videos start hitting YouTube, all the TikTok stuff start hitting and coming out with these creators who Disney invited, these influencers that Disney invited to the grand opening of Tiana's Place to vlog and review and to showcase on their channels. Disney invited them, send them the invite, got them in for free, so they could come and premiere this. Cairo, I sent you the screenshot, right? Not one influencer was black.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Now there's an article. There is an article on one of these. I think it's Pop Sugar, where it says the 50 top Black Disney content creators. So if Pop Sugar, the website, can find 50 Black content creators from both parks, from Disneyland and Disney World, and list them and their stuff, how come whenever Disney has these grand openings, how come when Disney has these big events, these VIP events, these media nights, they have media nights where they send people in the media, social media, to come, they only invite the white ones. And these Black YouTubers and TikTokers have millions of views.
That's
They
crazy.
have the eyeballs. So you mean to tell me that you're opening Tiana's Place based off a Black character? It's supposed to be representation, but you only invited the white creators to
And
the
what
grand
really
Even if
opening.
you were doing it by chance, like how, what type of process did they go through to find these people? Like you said, it's not hard. We're here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like it's kind of strange to me, honestly.
Like they, like they even flew out one creator who lives in Orlando, who goes and shoots the Orlando parks. They flew him out to California to go to the premiere.
Hmm.
So make it make sense. If you got a plane ticket, I don't care if it's Spirit Airlines. If you got a plane ticket to fly him out, there are some Black content creators who have more views than him that you could have did the same thing also. So I'm gonna let Keisha say what she got to say on this matter, um, and we can continue from there.
Yeah, because we are probably gonna get out of here in the next 5 or 10. We got to run up to Jacksonville. Uh, yeah, so I don't know if Disney has work to do, and they know they do. I feel like they are doing better with representation than they had when since Tiana first came out, however many years ago now, 10, 12, however many. Um, they've got some work to do. They do, and they've been. It seems like they've been doing better. Oh, did I just repeat myself?
14.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna take that as my leave. I'm gonna give it to y'all too. Y'all got this one better than I do. Oh, before I was talking about the skin tones changing on the character, and I said even me as a light skinned person, I don't want to always see every Black person on the screen look light skinned or mixed or anything like that. Because my own family don't all look like me. My family looks like everybody on this panel and then some in both directions. So why can't we see that? Why can't the children see that? Why can't other adults who live in communities where everyone looks like them see these characters that are different because we exist, we're here. So I just don't like how a character will start off, one shade, and then every 2 years, every 3 years, your curl patterns start changing. Now all of a sudden you go from having two afro puffs to having one afro puffed in a low ponytail. Then those afro puffs turn into two regular pigtails, and then now I just
You got a
if
perm.
it can go in that one direction every single time you see the de-evolution of these Black characters. Oh, that's my brother calling me now. Ooh, I'm in trouble, y'all. I got to go.
But
The de-evolution of the Black characters from brown to tan to why does it I don't know. All right, y'all. On that note, I'm gonna leave y'all to it. Y'all are the experts. Thank you so much for having me on and
thank you,
letting him hang
Mono.
out with us too. But thank you, chat, for tuning in, and I'm definitely watching the replay and catching the rest. So talk to you guys later.
See
Thank
ya.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. All right, and Cairo will be right back. Let me go back to what. Yes, Rock, you are right. You are right. Let's see. We need a captain. Yes, but also It's just so many levels of disrespect, y'all. Like, yes, thank you,
Doesn't even
Keys,
care how.
T, and Keisha for joining us. But yeah, but also, this is crazy that also what I forgot to say earlier is that Princess and the Frog came out what 2009,
Yes.
and we're just now getting the ride and the restaurant. But guess what? When did Encanto come out? And I'm not trying to make this a race war, but when did Encanto come out?
And they got a
Last year.
whole they got
They
a
got a
whole
whole land. Animal Kingdom at Disney World is going to give them an entire land. And it only been that movie only been out a year. Like, I'm all for representation. I'm happy. Like, I love Encanto. I love Encanto. I love Coco. Those movies, they hit home, especially when it comes to family, like big families. Like, I love them. But Tiana came out in 2009, and she's just now getting some in the theme parks. It's just a disrespect. They only throw us a bone when they feel like it. But everybody else, oh, we got to give them representation right away. Moana's now got a place in Disney's Animal Kingdom as well. Granted, it's just a fountain. It's just a river with some lights and stuff, but that movie ain't been out that long either. And they automatically got the representation in the theme parks. Like, they automatically got in the theme parks. And
for
then
me.
yeah, go ahead, Cairo. Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
you can finish.
Oh, and I was like, and also when it comes to the people of color and in the theme parks, as far as casting, like the meet and greet characters, oh, the disrespect. Not just with Tiana, with all characters of color. Because I've worked for Disney even back in 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, when I was there. Pocahontas, some days you would get a Native American looking woman. Other times it's just a white woman with some very dark makeup and a good tan. Princess Jasmine was always an Hispanic woman.
No,
But in the
Hispanic.
thing, always. Or like I said, a white woman with a great tan and some makeup. Like, and then also, even with Princess Tiana, yes, for the most, I can't speak for Disneyland. I didn't work for Disneyland. But at Disney World, I will say for the years I was working there, they tried their best to get dark skinned women for the meet and greet characters, but they were never consistent. They were never consistent in the looks. So you'll get some that look like the greatest Princess Tiana representation you get, and then you'll get some castings, somebody who that they hired that looked like the worst cosplay in the world. It was just never consistent. And it was like, even as a child, I would not want to meet and greet with that character. I would skip that line because y'all did our girl wrong. So yeah, that's also from a theme park perspective why I feel like they just constantly disrespect us. But go ahead, what you were saying, Cairo.
So for me, I really wasn't even like. For me, at first, it was just like, okay, Disney's being Disney, and then right. So I recently broke up with my boyfriend, and this is one of the reasons. This is news to my mom, by the way. So if y'all see her in the comments, um, so he was the first person I spoke to about the trailer. And then I texted a lot, and that's why I was so like angry when I was texting you because it was just so much. Now, I was really, really like, I was like, okay, like, why couldn't they find at least one or two black people? This, and this. Like, it's not that hard to find an all black cast. You know how? Then he continued to look me dead in my eye, and my boyfriend was white, by the way, and he was like, it would have been even more racist to have an all black cast. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Come on,
Whoa.
say what?
Whoa. Right? So I was like, how so you telling me the movie based around black people with like two white characters
Based
and
on a real woman.
exactly. And you're saying it'd be racist to have an all black cast? I know where he lives. um it's just like, why would you like, and I was like, why would you say that? Like, that's not that's literally, and it was, I had to explain to him, like, for me, this was the only movie that people my skin color had to look up to, especially with a Disney princess. It was a black woman, and the thing is, she wasn't even a princess who was just in it for love. She didn't even know she was in love till like the last like 10 minutes. Like,
not to mention she wasn't a human 80% of the
yeah.
movie.
And then I know, and
Oh, that's
like,
funny.
and I was like, and then we got into an argument about it. It was like, this people with that attitude. Dang, okay, wow. I was like, people with your attitude are the reason why people of my skin color can't get further ahead. Because you're saying it's racist for there to be an all black cast, but how is it racist? So you're saying it's not racist for the all white and Hispanic cast that was in the trailer? Okay. Like, they keep, what's his credit going? And it was like, for me growing up, even in like the Wreck-It Ralph movie, you know how excited I was when I heard she was gonna be in the movie. So why did she show up so not Tiana?
Exactly. They changed the hair. They lightened her tone.
And the thing is, that wasn't even the original thing she had. Like, they changed it like 3 times before people was finally just like, we give up. Because like, it's gotten to a point where it's like, Prince and the Frog is a very, very, very important movie to me personally. I love all the songs. Before every test, I listen to the soundtrack. That's my hyping it up, you know.
Right.
gotta get myself going. And it was just like, for this to constantly keep happening to the only princess that I could look to, it's just like, why? Like, y'all aren't doing this to any other princess, so why Tiana? This is not a Colonizer and the Frog. It's Princess and the Frog in New Orleans. Like, you're gentrifying everything that comes to the only black Disney princess, and then it's like, see, almost there, and it's like, I loved the Little Mermaid movie. I loved it. The actor, I can't remember her name. The actor did an amazing job. Halle Bailey did an amazing job. For me personally, it really didn't matter what her skin color was, because the original story was meant to be gay. So either way, we all got it wrong.
Yes, the original story was symbolized for a gay man longing to be in a relationship with someone he could never be in love with, just like the Matrix is a symbol for transness and being a trans person, but everybody is misquoting the Matrix to this red pill bullshit. But that's a podcast for another day. People misinterpret films like the shit, like they don't know the origins or the reason why the writers wrote those stories. But yes, you're right.
It just keeps getting worse and worse. Like I said, like, you get rid of all the racist rides, and then you put the Princess and the Frog area in the supposed, like, where the racist rides were. So you're telling me you want us black people to go back into that building where we know the racist ride is, and then we're met with like Prince and the, like, you just want us to be like, oh, finally, oh my god.
They thought changing zippity doo dah zippity yay my oh my was going to the Mama Odie song is gonna make us feel better. Like, no, we know the history. There's a reason why you banned that film to be sold in America now. Like, we know the history.
Like, for me, it's like I said when I was texting you, a win is a win, but at what cost? Yeah. Are we moving forward, or is this just an illusion by Disney and other people to make it seem like we're moving forward? Because if we really look at it, we have been moving backwards for a long time now. We have been really moving backwards. And like, the thing is, we're accepting the bare minimum, and we're not asking for more, because once we receive the bare minimum, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we got it. That's it. We got it. That's like, but that's not.
Yeah, you're right. And the fact that they're only doing it, I mean, it all comes down to is money. It all comes down to is money, because they know the black dollar is powerful. They know it's powerful. Because when both Black Panther 1 and 2 came out. Guess what was the number one selling merchandise on Shop Disney, the Disney parks? Like, even my mom bought me and all my siblings the Loungefly bags. Like, they make bank. But like you said, it's like one step forward, 10 steps back, because they give us this stuff and then they go back to the same BS over
And
and
it's
over
like,
again.
don't get me wrong, like it's good that we, like, I'm glad that we're happy that, you know, we're getting all of this, but at the same time, it's like we need to speak up and really keep pushing and pushing for what is right. Because, like, my thing is, like, we need to figure out how this isn't a win, is pretty much like what we need to figure out what the bare minimum is, what we can do to push forward on the bare minimum, and what we need more than that. Because, okay, you say we're free, but then you still have videos, and there, why on news stations a black person gets killed, this is a very graphic video, viewer discretion, like, why would you show that on TV? Why would you show a man being killed on live television? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I
Because
never
we're
liked
really
it.
nothing. Because we're really nothing. We're nothing but clicks and views and a
I never
commodity.
liked that, because, like, there's no way in anywhere, because, like, you wouldn't show a white man being shot down.
Never.
So why would you show?
Never.
So why would you show a black person being held down by a police officer, screaming for help, saying I can't breathe? He's just on live television.
Because
Video
they don't
played
respect.
over and over again. Videos of black men being beat to the ground. People like Eric Gardner, who was held down, they kept him on video. And it's just like, why do you? If we, why? Because you're making us seem
Because
like animals to a slaughter.
we
Why are
are.
we? Why are we only known for being killed and violated, and, like, we're when it comes to the news, it's like, well, black people are this, and that. We're aggressive. We're our hair is not like. It's just like, when are we gonna stand up for ourselves and make ourselves known for something good?
Exactly. And to piggyback, I want to answer that question. But also there's another thing that's been repeated over and over in the comments that I want to address as well. First, what you said. We have always been, since the beginning of time, seen as animals, seen as beasts, seen as freaks, seen as monsters. Barnum and Bailey, from Barnum and Bailey Circus. People people didn't cancel them for their history. People didn't cancel them for um, things they did in the beginning of joint opening the circus. They canceled them for elephants and big cats. But for those who don't know about Barnum and Bailey Circus and all the other circuses, you want to know what Barnum and Bailey's first exhibit sideshow attraction was? A 50-year-old black woman that they walked around and parade and claimed that she was 100 years old. That was their very first show exhibit. A 50-year-old black woman. I wa- and and he was walking around saying she was 100 years old, and he paraded her all around the globe, all around the country. And when she finally passed away, did she get a burial? No. They mummified her body and took her body around the world, and she did it again. Zoos. People love talking about animals in captivity. Zoos are bad. We got to free all the animals, put them back in a wild. First of all, they don't have a wild to go to, even if we did free them. But guess what? Zoos, every zoo, including the Memphis Zoo, where I go to a lot, every zoo in the very beginning of America, they had your gorillas, they had your elephants, they had your tigers, they also had your niggas in exhibit, because we were animals. We have always been nothing but animals, sideshows, freaks, exhibitions for the human consumption and for the human entertainment. And to piggyback off what your mom said, Candy, off what Rock has said multiple times, let me see if I can find it. Um, I can't find it, but pretty much everybody keeps saying we need to make our own. We need to make our own. We need to create our own. You guys are right. I'm never disputing that. Black people need to make our own. But guess what? When we make our own, either one, not a lot of people support it, or or people do support it, or if we make our own, all we're being fed by our own people is trash entertainment. People said we need to make our own networks. So we got Zeus. But what's on Zeus? What are we watching all the time on Zeus? What is always being premiered on Zeus? Fights, beefs, drama. Krishan and Rock beating each other up, but one episode and saying they love each other the next episode. That's all we're feeding ourselves on our own content. Now, one thing I do as a teacher, we got the TV shows where we got the TV shows. I mean, not TV shows. We got the YouTube videos for kids where they teach them their ABCs. They got all these kids channels, the Jack Hartmans of the world, stuff like that. You know what? I be rocking Gracie's Corner. I be rocking their other black content. That has black characters singing the kids the ABCs and stuff. I be rocking those channels and giving them all the views in my classrooms because I want their representation. But guess what? As big as those channels are, as good as those channels are, as amazing and wonderful as those channels are, they are no Sesame Street. Sesame Street will always get the more views when it comes to children's entertainment, just like Disney. We can make our own. The problem is we don't. We should make our own, but we don't. Someone should make a Disney for people of color. Someone should make a Disney but guess what? This year, Disney is celebrating 100 years. The Walt Disney Studios opened 100 years ago this year. You expect a Tyler Perry, which he's not. You expect a P. Diddy or Beyonce or any of these, or Oprah Winfrey, any of these old, rich, super celebrities. You expect them to stop what they're doing to make a Disney for us and compete with them, a company that's been around for 100 years?
See, but the thing is, if we completely separate ourselves, that's not equality. We're just segregating ourselves like we used to be.
That too. Agreed. So it's like, stop saying we need to make our own. We need to make our own. We need to build our own table. Yes, that's beautiful in theory, but when we do have people that build the table, they're feeding us more trash. They're feeding us more of the negative propaganda than the stuff that we get mad at the colonizers for doing.
And it's like, for me, I have always been really, really big into Black history. You can ask my mom if there's any person in Black history I'm going to talk about, it's going to be Malcolm X. He is one of my biggest inspirations, and I really do believe he had a point in where he was going. There aren't many Black leaders. What Malcolm X did is he made Black people feel beautiful. He didn't just go out and be like, oh yeah, we need to do this, we need to do this. He said, you are beautiful, you are Black. It don't matter what your hair look like, it don't matter what your name is. You're Black, and that's that. We need to stop setting such high expectations for ourselves. I'm not Beyonce. I'm not Keisha Cole. You aren't Tupac. Like, we are the average Black people you see on the street every day. You can see me at a Brahms at 2:00 p.m. I'm just trying to get some ice cream. It's like we are humans like everybody else, and it just doesn't seem that they take that seriously. And what I have a problem with, like, really, is like the older generation. When I say the older generation, I mean like the older generation, because it's like I'll speak and I'll be like, yeah, we need to do this, this, and this, and it's like, well, you don't even understand what's happening because you weren't there when this, and this happened. Okay, well, I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry that I wasn't there when we were being hosed down, but I'm here. We are being held down and shot down and unfairly arrested.
It's
like
things haven't changed. It's just a new face.
It's like the older generation is holding us back, really. The older Black generation is holding us back from moving forward, because it's like they think that since we're here now, that's all we gotta be. we deserve better than being killed on live television. We deserve better than a racist ride being turned into the only ride we get. We deserve better than some nasty beignets they probably found the recipe for by some white man. And it's just like when what is gonna truly make us angry enough to take that step, to take those steps forward, take back what we deserve. And it's not just with black people, it's with people in general, like with women's rights, Roe v. Wade, like the affirmative action. We don't, stuff happens and all we do is complain. It's like,
and
oh,
don't come out with no solutions.
it's like, oh, well, how could they do this? How could they do this? Well, if you know paid attention to the news, you would have figured out why, when, and where. If you just paid a little bit more attention to what was going on. And the thing is, it's like a lot of these problems would be solved if black people just voted. Because all we do,
vote in the polls, vote with your dollars, everything. Yes.
Because all we do, we'd be like, oh, I can't believe this. How could they pass this bill? Well, there was like, well, you were there when you could have voted for it to like say no, but you were like, it won't happen. Be so for real.
Look, I can't tell you how many times these folks, because you might not be aware of most situations that happen in the reptile community, but they big on politics when it comes to reptiles. And oh my gosh, this state is going to ban this snake, this state is going to ban this lizard, yada yada yada. We gotta vote, we gotta write your senators, yada yada yada.
So y'all can write the senators for some states, but you can't write the senators for your own rights?
Thank you. And these same breeders, these same keepers do not go hard in the paint when it comes to the rights of us. They'll say support USARK all day. Support USARK, support, and I'm with them. Yes, support USARK, because USARK is the reason why my pets aren't banned in the state of Tennessee, and why I cannot, why I'm able to go out and educate people on these animals. They're the reason why, USARK is the reason why, Tennessee was trying to start a ban to where I couldn't go out and do educational shows at schools, and they struck it down. That's good. But also, Tennessee is a state where we just now, the last local election voted to end the term slavery for the first time in Tennessee. Technically, slavery was still legal in Tennessee. And they're still arguing over lynching. Like, they're still arguing over whether lynching should be illegal or not in Tennessee. Like, come on, y'all. So you mean to tell me, technically speaking, somebody could hang me on a tree and get away with that, Joker?
The thing is, you can really there's really racism everywhere, even with animals. I don't know if there's a word for animal racism, but it's there.
It's there. Yes, it's there. Pit bulls, yes, it's there.
I've seen a lot of, like, for me, I love, whenever I go, oh yeah, I love bearded dragons, I love geckos, I love ball pythons. Oh well, those are boring. They're not as interesting. This, that, and the third. And it's like, why does I just told you what I liked. I didn't ask for you.
Cairo, if you could hear some of the conversations in these reptile group chats, I don't like that snake because it's going to brown out when it gets older. It's going to dull out. That bright yellow snake is going to be brown when it's an adult. When I tell you it sounds so racist, I'm like, over an animal? Who cares? It's an animal. It's a snake. Everything dulls out. Humans, we get older. We get wrinkles. Our hair turns gray. What the?
And I had a bearded dragon named Pokey. She passed away in 2020. Yeah. And I only got her because the person who had her didn't like that she had a scar on her back. And you want to know? It went away because all I had to do was put some ointment on it. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do.
It kills me. I'm like, I love the reptile community, but I hate them at the same time because they just They worry about the wrong things. These are living animals. These are living creatures. I don't care that he grows. You know, people hate bananas because they get freckles, they get spots.
And I think the freckles are
I
so
don't
cute.
I don't care if he looks like a full brown Dalmatian at 5 years old. I don't care. He's a snake. I have the coolest pet in the world. But let me not get on my soapbox because people tell me to shut up and that I worry about the wrong things and stuff. But look at this. Look at this. You know, some people will say this is ugly because of how brown he is, because he's not bright yellow or super black or whatever. He's a snake, y'all. These are animals. They already get hated on and persecuted by the average person just for being them. And now we're picking and choosing and degrading and saying, oh, this animal should go in the freezer, or this animal should be sold for $1, which I don't mind selling for $1. I'll take it. But it's like they shit on these animals over the most mundane, stupidest thing in the world.
And the thing is, it's like you say you like all these big snakes, they all look the same.
They
sorry.
do.
I ain't never seen a retic. I love my mom's retic. Nyx Carpetia. She amazing. But they all look the same. I'm sorry. They for the most part they all look the same.
And they all do the same thing.
You can be like, oh, it's got this, and this. It's still the same color. It's still the same color. It just so happened to be bigger.
It's still the same.
It's carpet python. There we go. Sorry, I don't deal with snakes. I don't deal with snakes. Like I said, because I'll be like, oh yeah, I love bearded. Oh well, like bearded dragons are so boring. Bearded dragons are this. Bearded dragons are that. Okay, well, go. I didn't ask. That's my bad. I didn't mean it like that for real. I didn't mean it like that for real. That's my bad. It's my bad. I apologize. I apologize.
It's all good. But yeah, it's like the fact, but yeah, you make some great points. The fact that they could be racist with animals.
It's the fact that it's black people that's being racist with animals. Like, woo. You got
And when I tell you the amount of black folks in the reptile community, Cairo, I be getting so frustrated. When they do decide to talk politics, when they do decide to speak their mind on issues, they sound very Candace Owensy. They sound very Clarence, whatever that bull crap monkey in the Supreme Court. They sound very red pill Republican. It's bad. It's bad. I'm like, do you not forget what color you are?
Literally.
And do you not forget the moment you walk out the house, the whole government hates you? The whole world hates you?
And that's what gets me. It's like, you're voting for all this stuff to happen against you. Are you trying to end up back in the cotton fields? Like, I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I don't want to be a slave. That's just me though. That's just me.
Like seeing black people, especially in the reptile community, but black people in general, bigging up and rooting for Trump. It triggers me because it feels like you're the motherfucker who would snitch on the runaway slaves. You are the person who will quickly, the moment your best friend gets out, like you would probably shoot Harriet Tubman if you had the opportunity.
And it's just crazy because like these are the same people who, like, I was watching a Malcolm X documentary. They don't know specifically who killed the FBI, but
me so too.
allegedly. No, for real, I want some waffles. Come on now.
No, made me so too.
The FBI, but like, you know, we don't know who killed him. It's a lot of the FBI. It was a lot of debate. Me personally, and so the day that Malcolm X was killed, he was supposed to be holding like this convention type thing. He was going to give his normal speech. That same day, where there's usually a whole bunch of security guards, there was only two, and they were on like the roof somewhere in Timbuktu. And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like the thing is, it was four black men that killed Malcolm X. So how
Yes.
it's just like you just went against everything
Fred
that you like.
Hampton. Fred Hampton. Judas and the Black Messiah is my
That
favorite film
was
of
a
all time.
good
That was my favorite
movie.
film of all time. But it's true. Just like Jesus, he got betrayed by his own person.
And it's like he got, and the dude, I can't remember his name. The dude has so many chances to just step out or just tell like, hey, like this is what's happening. I'm here, like,
Or
but
at
no,
least warn him and be like, no, I can't do it.
but
But for
he
some money, he he led to his assassination.
and
He
it was
led
even
the
worse.
feds
He gonna
to
talk about some. I regret it. I didn't mean to do it. And then like he committed. I will
yeah,
say that. That's
the guilt got to him, and he ended up taking his life, his own life, because the guilt got to him. He felt bad because he was a traitor. You betrayed someone who was fighting for us. Like they were giving out free meals to young black children and doing after school care programs. They were doing good in the community, in their community, trying to big their community up. And you betrayed him and gave him off to the feds, and they killed him in his sleep, shot him dead in his sleep. Like,
next to his pregnant wife.
like our biggest enemies is ourselves, especially when when the person, they say not all skin folks is kin folks, which is true. When that person wants to be as close to whiteness as possible, they will do whatever it takes. They will betray you left, right, and sideways.
And like everybody's always talking about Martin Luther King. Me personally,
They
I
they misquote him. They misquote him. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was on the same playing field. If you read some of his old speeches, he was saying, if we need to defend ourselves, we gonna defend ourselves. If we need to stand up, we need to stand up. He wasn't all peace, love, and positivity,
for the
as
most part he
people
was though.
as people claimed he was. Like, no,
And,
yes, he was a preacher. Yes, he was a preacher, and so his rhetoric and how his approach was a little different than Malcolm. But
I got my little
when
by
you
any means necessary posters right there.
yeah, if you read some of Martin's work, he was speaking the same stuff. He wasn't as That's why when I see people quote him on MLK Day, I just laugh. Cause I'm like, y'all really don't know the man.
You
Y'all
know
really
who I
don't do
don't
y'all
like?
research.
Booker T. Washington. That man got on my
Woo!
nerves. That man,
That man was a coon. That man was a coon for real.
cause what?
I can't stand him. I don't even talk about him when I'm teaching kids history. When we on
We
Black
learned
History
about
Month, I don't
we were
even talk
talking
about him.
about him. It was him and we had like a debate. One side was Booker T. Washington and the other side was W.E.B. Du Bois in my African American Studies class. Nobody could stand up for Booker T. Washington because every point he made was just like, you want us to be slaves again, don't you?
He did. He did. He missed it. He missed a good life in his
He,
eyes. It wasn't a good
he,
life, but he missed it. He
he
missed
wanted
a
to be back in
master.
the fields. That's what I'm saying, bro. He's like, I'm trying to be a farmer.
Like, yeah, I can't stand Booker T. Washington. Man, we went off on a tangent off of Tiana and a theme
That's
park.
my bad, y'all. That's
No,
my
I
fault.
loved it.
That's my
I
fault.
loved it. This was great. I loved it. This was amazing. Like, cause like you said, they're constantly throwing us a bone, giving us an inch and saying, here, take they constantly throwing us the scraps. Like slaves, they throw us the scraps and say, make gumbo out of this shit.
And
Like,
then we gonna pick it up and make the gumbo. Like, girl, if you don't put that thing down.
and then they take it and repurpose it and it be unseasoned.
It's just crazy. Like we really need to start stepping up. I don't know. I'm
And
17.
yes, I'm with everybody who said we need to create our own. We do need to create our own, but we also need to hold what's existing accountable because it's already here. They've already look. Disney has already won when it comes to children and entertainment. They've been here 100 years. They celebrate their 100 Disney 100. They They're in the game. They're not going nowhere. No matter who the CEO, no matter who's the executive, no matter who's in charge, they gonna always be here. So we might as well hold them accountable. Yes, they can't. Yes, um, what's Zaddy's name? I forgot his name. That fast, man. My memory at 9 a.m. is hard. Um, yes, Bob Iger cannot right the wrongs of Walt Disney himself, because Walt Disney was alive when Songs of the South came out. Walt Disney was alive when some of these, like the racist Indian scene in Peter Pan came out. He oversaw those films. He directed those films himself. We can't expect Bob Iger to keep righting the wrongs for the past, but at the same time, Bob Iger can
Another problem
work
with
on the
Disney
future.
though.
He can work on the future. Just like I said in the last Marvel episode, Kevin Feige had to threaten Bob Iger to leave Marvel in order to get us the first Black Panther film. He said, if you won't let me make this film, if you won't let me bring Black Panther out, I'm leaving Marvel. I'm not going to be ahead of Marvel. You can find another executive for the studio. Like, so I can hold Bob Iger accountable for that shit. I mean, and I can hold him accountable for Princess Tiana because Bob Iger was CEO and brought us Princess Tiana. I can hold him accountable for that shit, but I'm not going to hold him accountable for Songs of the South. It happened. It happened. It's here. I'm glad that he refused to put it on Disney Plus, and let's keep it that way. But at the same time, yes, we need to make our own entertainment, but at the same time we need to support the positive. We need to create the positive and not these trash reality shows with drama and fighting and stuff. And we need to hold the existing companies accountable. We can do both at the same. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can happen at the same time. We can create our own, like the Gracie's Corners of the world. We can create our own, but we can also hold, like, when it comes to companies, I try not to big up big CEO companies, big Fortune 100 companies, but the best children's entertainment company is the Jim Henson Studios and Sesame Street when it comes to inclusion and diversity. They did it the best. They have given us autism puppets. They have given us puppets and storylines of homelessness and stories of homelessness, autism, mental health. They even had a suicide episode that they had to only put on online through HBO because it was too much for television, but they did it in such a way. They talked about death and mental health in such a way that a child could understand, and diversity. And when they finally gave us the black puppets and Muppets, not just black adjacent, the ones who you could tell was black, but they're not really black. They probably orange or purple. When they finally gave us one, they gave us the afros, they gave us the dark skin, the songs they made. To me, everybody should, if you're going to give us diversity, if you're going to preach and walk the walk and talk the talk, you need to look at what Sesame Street and Jim Henson Studios did. Every company needs to look at them and don't backtrack. Yes, Sesame Street had a lot of people saying that they were going to boycott. What's that Christian religious organization? Million Moms. A Million Moms is a racist Christian organization that hates diversity. And they said, we're going to boycott Sesame Street. We're going to boycott Sesame Street. Guess what? Sesame Street doubled down. And they said, oh, you're going to boycott us? We're going to give you more. We're going to talk more about this stuff.
And another
And that's
thing
what
is,
every company needs to do. They need to look at them. And those are the people that I feel like are doing it right.
and like another problem we have is we keep bringing religion into politics. Like I feel
Yes.
like
Ooh.
I feel like if we just took religion out of politics, it would be a much
The
more
world would
even
be a
playing
much,
ground. Because
yes,
you can't say, "Oh, I'm not biased," and then go, "Oh, but the Bible says."
exactly. We need to do away with just the two-party system because Democrats are full of shit and Republicans are full of
It
shit.
wasn't
They're
even
both
supposed to be a two-party system. When George
exactly.
Washington passed away, he said, "Do not split up into two parties." And
And
what
what we did, split up into two parties. Like, we need someone and we need a strong party, because saying third party or lib or whatever that name is, We need a fully third party, neutral, non-biased middle ground, because I'm gonna tell you right now, yes, I'm all for human rights, yes, I'm all for LGBT rights, I'm all for black rights, but I'm but there are some things that I can say I don't agree with Democrats, just like there are a few things I agree with Republicans, but they are both so extreme that I can't choose neither one. I can't promote neither one, I can't talk about neither one. So I'm not a part of neither one of them. And quite frankly, both of them hate me. They hate me because I'm black. They hate me because I'm trans. They hate me because whatever. And
Okay, but like to peace and pet.
one thing about the Democrats is that pisses me off is that they pretend like they like me. They pretend like they're for me. They pretend like they're the voice of me, but they're not. They be the main ones that be on with that bullshit, especially when it comes to like race and gentrification in our communities and um, police brutality. At least with the Republicans, they tell me to my face they hate me, and they're honest about it. They're like, yeah, we don't care about y'all. We want y'all dead. We want this to be a colonized world with power, and everybody just follow Jesus. But the Democrats, they play around and pretend to be your friend, but still stabbing you in the back for that almighty dollar. So yeah, we need to get rid of the two-party system, and we need to get rid of religion out of politics, because religion has started more wars, more genocides, more corruption than anything in the world. And that's all religions, all of them. The Middle East, Africa, Europe, America, all religion is the devil.
And it's another thing, like Peace and Pet said, you have a point, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, y'all probably have never heard of it, but it was my show when it first came out. The theme song was slapping, the characters are amazing. But Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on Disney Plus, let me tell y'all, that show right there, let me tell y'all. It's like, the thing is, we do ourselves wrong. Are you good? Oh, we do. we
I'm
do
sorry.
our.
I'm sorry. Someone interrupted me. That's why I muted.
Oh no, you fine. The thing is, like, when positive TV shows like that, like cartoons and stuff, come out, it's like, okay, yeah, that's how. And then stuff like Power, like Empire, comes out, and y'all eating it up. How is That's not even the production company's fault at that point. That's just y'all.
Exactly. And the production company, and guess what? They love blaming the production company, like they love blaming Disney, they love blaming Warner Brothers and all this other stuff. But guess what? If you did not watch, if you did not give them the views, they wouldn't keep it up. They would cancel. One thing I love about Netflix, and Netflix be on their bullshit too. But one thing I love about them, if they're not getting the views, you're not getting a season 2. You're not getting a season 3. They're not gonna keep on with the bullshit. Once they see, oh, only 1,000 people watch this, and we got 10 million customers. Oh no, we scratching. I'm not wasting my money on this shit. But these companies keep giving us the bullshit because y'all keep eating it up. Who do y'all promote the most? The Powers, the Zeus networks, all the crazy stuff. Y'all keep making them money. Y'all keep making them go viral on TikTok. Y'all keep half these shows I wouldn't know about if folks didn't talk about it. Half these shows I wouldn't know about if y'all didn't bring it up or if y'all didn't make memes of it. And if y'all didn't see it every single week. One thing about me, once I watch the first episode of a TV show and I realize it's on some bullshit, I move on. You might got me on the premiere. You might have gotten me on the premiere, but you best believe by episode 2, I'm not going back. If I feel like it's something that I don't want to support. Like,
and the thing is, like, I love documentaries, but some of these documentaries are becoming a bit too real. Like, I don't know if you watched When
and
They
too
See Us.
biased.
I don't know if you
Oh
watched
yeah, yeah,
Witness,
yeah.
but I watched it. I remember crying because I was like, "There's no way this actually happened." Because it's like, how could you? How could they do that to a person? And that's not even the first instance in which they wrongfully accused and arrested a group of black people.
Yep.
I
There's
forget what
some
the other.
there's some documentaries and true crime shows that I just cannot watch for the subject matter. Like I love true crime. I love um murder mysteries and all that jazz, but there's certain subjects I just cannot watch. Like even on YouTube, if I see on the thumbnail or I see in the title what you're talking about, I'm not, and it's something that triggers me, I'm not going to watch it. Like child abuse. I was abused as a child. So that stuff triggers me. So if I see a true crime show or a true crime documentary and it deals with something like that, I'm not giving them the views. You ain't gonna catch me on, and I don't care. Everybody was raving about the Jeffrey Dahmer show.
That show was
Everybody,
scary.
you gotta see it. You gotta see it. You gotta see it. Why would I want to sit and see a bunch of young black men, gay black men, die and get murdered and chopped up and put into a freezer, and then everybody talk about, "Ooh, look how sexy Evan Peters is as Jeffrey Dahmer."
That's what got me like, bro. He is not. See, I get it. With American Horror Show, is fake. You can fantasize all you
You
want
can
about the
suspend your
villain,
disbelief with American Horror Story because
but like
it's a
you,
lot of freedom liberties. Yeah.
like even Evan Peters was like, y'all need to chill because that's not right. That man was
Yeah,
clutching his pearls because of the internet.
exactly. Even the actor himself was like, "Y'all are crazy for worshiping my character. You're not supposed to like my character.
He was
You're
like,
not
y'all, I
supposed to
was
love
mentally
me."
drained. He was like, I was mentally drained playing the character. Y'all ain't supposed to like me like that, dog.
He was mentally drained with American Horror Story. That's why he left, because he did what, 6 or 7 seasons with them, always playing the bad guy, always playing the psychopath. He was tired. So imagine if the guy who is playing these characters got tired. Imagine what it does to the audience, especially when it's dealing with real life people. And to piggyback on the whole race and Princess Tiana stuff, I would probably throw Disney some bail if this was fully uh, fiction. If it was just fully fiction, fully made up, fully just from the minds of someone else. But Tiana is based off a real black woman who is still alive to this day. She still has a restaurant in New Orleans. She is still living and breathing and talking to this day. She is a real human being, a real person. So for you to try to whitewash or light skin wash or only make her a human 80% of the film, and you got all these other movies and characters getting their own land after a movie's been out for what, a year? And she's been out since 2009, and she's just now getting a ride, and a ride that was a racist ride. What's up, coach? It's like it's very, very blatantly disrespectful into our faces. Like this, you can't say freedom liberties when this is based off a real human being. You can't make this character lighter and lighter every time we see her in the promotions, and it's based off a real human being. Because now, not only are you disrespecting your audience, you're disrespecting the people you're trying to represent. You're disrespecting the person it's based off of. And that's something that I just cannot get with. And I will always, as much as I love Disney, as far as the entertainment, like the movies and TV shows and stuff, I'm always call bullshit. And I'm always hold them accountable and say, yo, Bob Iger, bro, you're doing too much or you're not doing enough.
It's just
He,
crazy.
yeah, we went on a whole tangent and history lesson on this episode. I'll pay all because of a theme park. But you know
I
what? I
feel like
love it. We needed this. We needed this.
I need a PowerPoint presentation behind me. And
I know,
here,
right? Look, you need to cut off segments of this and present this to your class, your
that's what
history
I'm
class.
saying.
This is what man, man, man. But this has been a great, great episode. We had a lot of people tapped in this episode. They kind of dipped out on us. Now we got two black phones. But that's okay.
It's probably when I brought up the snakes. That was my bad, y'all.
Yeah, when we start ripping on the reptile keepers being racist. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, but it's all cool. They gonna hit the replay if they missed it. This was a great episode, a great conversation. Again, thank you to Keys and Keisha for tuning in earlier. Thank you, Cairo. You know, this ain't gonna be the first or last time or second time you're gonna see Cairo. Cairo's gonna be a reoccurring guest whenever a topic pops up and we want to talk about. We're gonna hit that shit for real. Yeah, Candy never left, making waffles and all.
Love you
And we
too,
love you
mommy.
too. We love you too, Candy Cane. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to the show. This has been a great episode, one of my faves. And hope everybody has a great weekend. Please tune in to Lady T's Exotics at noon today, and then tune in to Wiz Constrictors and Joey D for Sophisticated Ignorance tonight at 10 p.m. This has been Snake Cinema Podcast. I'm your host, Prince Elias. My guest, Cairo. We got Loki in the building, and we will catch y'all later. What? Pancakes? I'm really about to come to y'all house. We will catch y'all later, y'all. Peace. Hold on.